Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Milton Carroll with High Risk Behavior, and today we're broadcasting from 97.7 The Heat.
He worked on that. He worked on that, didn't he, Allison?
For sure.
I know he did because he said that too comfortable.
No. That was straight off the dome, as they say.
Whatever, Allison. She done snitched on you. You worked on it. That's WKSH 97.7 The Heat. Yeah, that's right. We got Milton Carroll with High Risk Behavior, and I know some of y'all already been doing high risk.
Man.
What's up, Milton? What you got new? What you got popping, man? I know school back in, and
Yes, sir.
you know what I'm saying.
Sir.
All that.
School has started, and so now is the time for, not just now, but it's time for us to start focusing on our kids more.
Right.
Start working with them and correcting behaviors.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry there.
No, you good.
Okay. But now is a great opportunity and time for us to start working with our kids about behavior and mentoring them into, what we want them to become.
Right.
And like I said, with working with the life skills, this is opportunity time for us to be able to get that captive audience with them in the schools. It used to be two places, school and church, is where you could catch the majority of the youth.
Right.
So I think now we're really just down to, the schools mainly.
Right. Man, the summer is pretty much over for us, the kids, for us back to school. So you need to start getting your kids, making sure you're getting them tuned to get ready to go to school, for us back on the regular schedule. Because, they got a summer schedule and a school schedule. And
Yes, sir.
they need to be making sure that they're not tired when they're going to school and stuff like that, and trying to get the meals in when you can, you know what I'm saying? It's just so much different things going on. But, Bill, I'm going to be honest with y'all, I was disturbed today, and this goes along with high risk behavior, too, because I seen two young girls. I know they couldn't have been no more than probably about, even though Allison telling me it's hot. And I don't agree, Allison. I'm just being honest. We cool like that, right?
Yeah. Of course.
See, they tell me it's hot, and they running around. I couldn't even tell you what they had on it because they ain't had nothing on. And I was like, they can't be. I know these girls cannot be in high school or something like that, going to school like that. Can't be.
What did they have on?
Nothing. I mean, dude, these shorts were so thin, no bra, with what you call them? What you said it was?
What, pasties?
Pasties on. And I'm
Wow.
like, wait a minute, hold on. How did they walk out the house like that?
Sound like they climbed out the window.
They had it, man. They must have had a change of clothing or something. They must have had a change of clothing or something.
Wore something over it.
A mom must be at work, or mom must be at work or something. Because,
Yeah.
man, come on, y'all. The internet and entertainers are totally different from your life.
Yeah,
They're not walking around. That's not reality.
Yeah.
They're not walking around like that every day.
Yeah.
If you could see them every day, you would see how
Reserved.
yeah, because they couldn't function like that, walking around every day with the eyelashes, with the pasties on, and with no clothes on.
Yeah.
You can't walk around like that every day.
Yeah. As just for the BET Awards and whatever awards they
Right.
come on. And
The videos and all that. That's all that's about.
And the only thing that is to attract attention for that moment. Momentarily.
Exactly.
I got to grab somebody's attention. So,
Yeah, but Milton, I want you to talk on what kind of risk they're putting themselves in when guys are high, when they twerking and then all that. I mean, guys are high. Y'all don't understand.
Yeah.
You putting yourself in a real bad situation, dressed like that, right?
Yeah. And as everybody should know, the Shreveport is right on the trafficking trail.
Right.
I mean, we're primary coming out of Dallas, straight on over to Atlanta and down on to Florida, if not directly down to Baton Rouge or the crossover to Florida.
Mexico, not too far.
Yeah. We've and the thing about it, I know that we've had a few teenagers that have ran away that have gotten caught up into it. We had one young lady that ran away, friends and stuff told her, well, you can stay with me. If you run away, you can stay with me.
Right.
And that lasted for about a week and a half. Then it went from them staying with their girlfriends to, well, I got a friend, he got a room at his house and you can stay there and I can come and visit you there. And before you know it, the girl was caught up in the trafficking. They kept her there for a few months, indoctrinated her, got inside her head, and eventually sent the girl down to Florida. The girl worked there for about 2 to 3 months, and it was to the point where every day she would prostitute herself out. She'd take that money, go to Walmart, and wire it back here to Shreveport.
What?
Yeah. Wasn't here, but physically, your mind was in prison, and that Even though he wasn't with them, she had been indoctrinated during that time here, and went and dropped her off. Yeah.
Man, see, that's something right there. I got to be honest with you. When you said sex trafficking or something like that, I'm thinking that they imprisoning them, they strapping them up, taking them on a bus, or got them packed in a 18-wheeler. That's what I'm thinking.
No.
But I never thought about it in the sense of
The mind.
They actually get into the mind of these young girls, and they're going to different states making money, sending money back.
Sending it back. Every day she was going to Walmart.
I thought it was
wiring
2023.
It is. And maybe
Dog.
Cash Apping now. Maybe Cash Apping the money back now.
What?
I really wouldn't be surprised. But for that specific case, so the girl was going on Walmart, wiring it back to Shreveport.
Man, I hope you parents are paying attention to what we're talking about, because you may not think it may
Happen to you.
happen to you or your kids or
Yeah.
whatever. I want you to really pay attention to this, because they're out there really soliciting them. I mean, they're soliciting for these young girls, and some of these young girls ain't making it that hard.
And the thing about it, it's not the older men that are talking to the girls. It's the little teenage boys.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times these girls fall for the okie doke. Mom and them don't know what they talking about. They don't love me and this and that. Yeah, they don't love you, girl, like I do. And all of a sudden, goo eyes, and all of a sudden you think somebody else cares more about you than your parents do.
Wow. Allison, what you got to say about that? I mean, I know you have a little opinion about it, or enlighten us or something, because you're younger than me and your dad. You know, we old school. You know, we'll get beat down. My sister get beat down, and she thought if she was even thinking about walking out the house like that, she would be totally beat down. So what are we missing as adults? You younger, you can.
Me personally, I cover myself and everything. I don't think I seek for attention the other way people do.
Right.
So I think it's just attention seeking.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things. Like I said, if they're not getting the attention of the parents at the home,
Right.
I really think early enough to start seeking the approval of other people. You know, a lot of times for the young men, it's sports. I'm excel in sports. I'm gonna, but I think for the women, it's just kind of like, okay, I'm gonna accentuate myself. You know, I want to have the eyes, all eyes on me. You know,
And don't understand, just like you attract honey, you're gonna attract flies.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's what I really feel like they're missing. But we as adults have to be straight up and be honest with our kids and let them know when too much is too much.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I understand it's 2023 and they looking at all the Beyoncés and all that stuff, but you gotta really, really understand that when you letting your daughters run around and dress, and the guys too,
Yeah.
because you got predators on guys too.
Yeah.
Because a lot of guys running with the pins, slagging them down real low. You don't understand. These guys looking at you.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
they really, to me, they really don't understand what they're doing, how they setting themselves up. So it's both. It's the male and the female to me.
Yeah. I like I said, when you don't set those boundaries and say, nah, that's too provocative for you, or
Right.
as they used to say, that's too grown for you. No.
Right.
No, look, back then, no spaghetti straps. Nah, we need some full sleeves.
Exactly. And to me, I had to touch on that. I don't know what you wanted to talk about today, but Milton, I had to say something about that on air because I really think we gotta get back to the basics and teach your kids the basics, and then how to dress, what to wear, what not to wear, what attracting this, what attracting that. And I know we say, our kids are intelligent enough to make those decisions, but no, not based upon the net, the internet, all the different things you're seeing for as entertainment and stuff. They're cheering, so they're impressionable. So you have to make sure that you're making some kind of judgment call for them, because you got to understand they're still children.
Yeah,
No matter what.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Alan, what you think about the dress code? Now, I mean, be honest though, because you young and I don't want you in here thinking like us old men. I just want your honest opinion about it, because maybe we can understand something we're not understanding. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you can enlighten us on something
I
we
don't
might not.
understand it either, person. I mean,
Well-
personal, I wear shorts, t-shirt, and a jacket and go on about my day.
Right, right.
But I'm gonna say this right here, and the thing about it, also nowadays, when you wear a certain, like you said, when you wear a dress a certain way, you're gonna attract a certain attention, you know.
Right, right.
And the thing about it nowadays, you know, guys ain't just gonna say, you know, they're gonna reach, touch, or whatever, and all of a sudden now, it's going on. You know, you got to
You're right,
fight.
you're right.
You know, and like you know nowadays, guys don't mind fighting girls.
No,
you
they
know,
don't mind.
You know,
It's on. And that's the thing about it. So, man, y'all can, if y'all got to come in, you can call 318-779-0459 and you can give your comment. Be respectable and, you know, in your comment, you know, I have to say that now because I had a lady call and we was talking about the Alabama thing and she wanted to express how she didn't like what we said or how we said it or a caller said. And I want y'all to know when you call in, this is your opinion. And we value everybody's opinion. We may not understand all opinions, but that's the whole purpose of us talking, so we can understand each other. Communication is everything. But when you call and you make, or when you go on my page and you make stupid comments, like, you know, your opinion on the one that matter, hey, I turn you off.
Yeah.
I'm letting you know that now. I'm turning you off because everybody has a right to their opinion, even though you might not like it.
yeah.
So, you know, that's what I'm saying, though.
Yeah, you know, I was just thinking about it. I did a survey, maybe like about half a year ago, and so I was just asking parents, you know, what's your biggest investment? You know, some say my house, my car, my 401k, you know, and then finally, when I finally, you know, talked with them, I finally said, yeah, those are large investments, but you know that's very small in comparison to the investment that you make in your children.
Right, right.
And you know, if you start thinking about it, a mother carries a child for what, 9 months. Then you imagine taking care of the child for another 18 years.
Right.
So we equate what to time? Money. We get paid for our time. So if you just took minimum wage, multiply that by minimum wage, multiply that by what, 24 hours in a day,
Right.
12 months in a year, then multiply that for 18 some years times minimum wage, then account for medical, dental, hobbies, sports, the birthdays you'll pay for, the vacations.
Right.
Man, by the time your child graduates from school, that's a multi-million-dollar investment.
It is.
So that's your biggest investment. But I know as parents, you don't sit up there and keep every receipt, you know, with them shoes,
Right,
you know.
right.
And so when you make big investments, you always do what? You get some type of protection, insurance. You get a house, you're going to get insurance. You get a car,
right,
you're going to get
right.
insurance. So what's the insurance on your children? Is education, life skills. You got to teach it to them for them to have longevity of life.
Right.
You know, and like I said, a lot of times, you know, when I would go to different schools or different places and I, you know, approach them about doing a presentation with their youth and they say, well, we don't have time. And I'm like, wow, you don't have time. So all the kids that we've lost this past year, they didn't die because they didn't know what X times Y equals or because they couldn't spell supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Right.
They
I can't
they
even say
died.
that.
They died because the choices that they were making, the lifestyle that they were living.
Right.
They didn't have any exit strategies, things like that in place that, you know, that would help them during those times that, you know, that they came to their demise.
You know, Milton, it was a thing we were talking about. A teacher was at down to Walking by Faith, and we were talking about it's been a lot of suicides in a lot of the schools. And what tripped me out is that I'm learning that they don't even really get reported. And I'm talking these are, and I'm not trying to be funny. These are black and white schools. These just ain't white schools. These black and white schools. And a lot of kids are having problems at a lot of these private schools that are getting bullied, and they're actually killing themselves. They're actually suiciding for real.
Well,
The teacher was telling me this.
Well, I know that suicides aren't reported. They don't report that over the news unless it's like a homicide attached to it.
Right.
You know, like you kill somebody, then you kill yourself. It'll get reported then.
Right.
But just initial suicides,
why?
they're not reported.
Why didn't I report it? Some personal or something?
I don't know if it's the fear of by reporting this, you know, it may start perpetuating it, or I don't know what the reason is.
Wow.
I really don't, you know. And the thing is, a lot of times when things like that occur, you still think about the privacy of the family. Family members may have not been notified, so it's just something that's just it's not reported. You know,
that's to me, I think that's kind of sad because people are not aware.
Yeah,
a lot of parents. That's why they get surprised when my son did this to himself, or my daughter did this,
and then
I can't believe this. And you get a letter.
Yeah,
you get a letter, Mom. I'm tired of being here. And that's crazy to me, man.
And the first thing that they'll probably say is, well, he didn't have no problems. No, he wouldn't have done this to himself. And, no, somebody else did something to him.
No, it ain't. And guess what, parent? It ain't bad on you. Mm-hmm. It's just to the point to where, and it ain't that you ain't paying attention to your kid. It's just to the point to where things happen. Yeah. And you can be the best parent in the world and trying to do the best thing for your kids. But a lot of times they have this private part of their lives. That's why I'm telling you, as a parent, there is nothing private for your kid when they're in your house. Yeah. You gotta pay attention to everything. Not just because even when they're staying overnight with their friends and different things like that, you gotta pay attention to it. You gotta understand what you're allowing, because the world is not like it used to be.
Yeah, got to investigate.
Yeah, find out what their parents
know what's in your house. Know what's in your house.
And
that's the crazy thing, man. Mm-hmm. You have people, young underage people with weapons in the house, and the parents don't even know. Wow. Then when something happened and we go there and investigate the scene, we start finding all these different weapons. And they're like, where'd you get that from? Out of his bedroom?
Wow. I ain't have a door. In my house, I ain't have no door. Matter of fact, the drawers weren't even mine. They were my mom and dad's. So you close that door. You think you're gonna close it, like Rodney said last time. Dad'll take them hinges off that door. You won't have no door. The door over there sitting in the corner. Why ain't no door on here? You don't own no door here. You better. I'm serious. That's real talk, man. I mean, we ain't had the privacy like these kids. They got the phone and. Like the young guy, you remember the young guy killed his grandma? I mean, the girl stabbed her grandmother? Yeah. Because he took her phone?
Yeah, yeah.
What?
Well, John, like they used to say, well, what, Mama, I don't get no allowance. Oh, yeah, you get allowance. I'll allow you to stay here. I'll allow you to eat. I'll allow you to take a bath, so that's allowance. I'll allow it.
You know what? Really, man, I really think that we need to get back to some of the old traditional ways in order to combat what's really going on in the world. Because if they can get the basics first, when they go out in the world, they can tell it's wrong. Yeah. They can tell that ain't it. But when you let them look at all the Tyler Perry shows, you let them look at all the different what they're influencing the kids. Yeah. And I mean, they really out there now, man. Yeah. Saying we're still talking about high risk behavior though. Yeah. I don't want y'all to think we're not. We're still, because these are actions and causes of why your kids may act a certain way.
And the thing is, man, I mean, you can on the weekends, right here, I work graveyard shift.
Right.
So on the weekends, you can drive down Hearn maybe like about 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. Right. And you just see the cars, the little young kids running through the lights, swerving. Mm-hmm. And we just had a accident on I-20, and the 18-wheeler ended up turning over and spilled like grapes on the eastbound side and the westbound side.
I like grapes.
Right there between Hearn and Mansfield Road. And I'm pretty much sure that I heard one of the officers said that he that he ran into that pillar because he was trying to dodge 2 cars that were out there swerving.
Wow.
On I-20.
That's crazy.
So, the foolishness that they do, man, is like I said, so often what they call fun ends up being death in disguise.
You don't understand
and don't realize it until it happens,
Right.
And it's like a lot of times the lights don't come on until it's sitting at a funeral. And
what?
and when at that funeral, then it's kind of like the eyes open up for a little while.
And what we're trying to do, y'all, with high risk behavior, we're trying to give you knowledge on and also give you signs where you can look at your kids and you can tell what they're doing. And then it just got to be your kids. It could be any kids.
Look, hey, I got an idea. Let's talk to the parents. Okay, I know we got a lot of parents listening, so these are some of the things I want you to do today. When you get home with your kids, I want you to just sit beside them and talk to them for a minute and just say, hey, Michael, if you went over to Tony's house and he pulled out a gun, what would you do? And just see how they respond. And the way that they respond is exactly what they're going to do. If they go, that's exactly what they're going to do when it happens. So what we want to do is just get them some exit strategies. Now, everybody has a cell phone pretty much nowadays. So that's one of my favorite exit strategies is using a cell phone. So tell your child if he's there and somebody pulls out a gun, it could be the gun, the drugs, or any other situation that they can use to
Look at that.
remove themselves.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off like that, Mel. But it was somebody just did a comment, was saying a comment about she was able to catch her daughter before she actually killed herself.
Oh wow.
And I appreciate you for sharing that, my sis. And it's like Milton said, you gotta ask your kids these questions.
Yeah. And I'm gonna switch gears real quick to what you're saying about the suicide thing. That's the first thing to do. The parents need to be, first of all, checking on the internet, seeing what the history, what your child's been looking at. You need to find out what on their phone. Just get it every now and then. Hey, let me see your phone.
No.
Yeah, get the phone and search the history. See what they've been looking at, what they've been doing.
No, man, we already had a situation with that, so we don't want to do that, do we?
Yeah, they need to. they need to find out what is he doing. And then the thing is, if you know that your child has a history of depression or anything like that, make sure that you're paying attention to them. If they're withdrawn from everybody for a while, not doing the things that they usually do with their routines, just isolating all the time, and then all of a sudden they want to jump up and go visit everybody. I want to go visit Grandma and Aunt Maddie and Uncle Eddie and Uncle Charles. Those are usually the goodbyes. That's kind of like their last way of visiting everybody before they carry out that act. If they're starting to give away their prized possessions, they giving what's the new game systems they got out?
Xbox.
If they give their Xbox to the next door neighbor, and then the next door neighbor talking, "Oh, this the Lord done bless me." Nah, wrong interpretation. You need to get in contact with them and let them know, "Hey, I noticed this prized possession. He's been acting kind of strange. I'm worried about him."
Riding again away Donkey Kong back in the day.
So if they're giving away their prized possessions, they've been isolating, then all of a sudden they start to visit all the family members at 1 minute, at the last minute.
Right.
That's kind of like their way of saying goodbye to everybody before they take their own life. So you seeing things like that, you need to intervene.
Right.
And the coroner's office, we actually do what we call order of protective custody. If you have somebody that's threatening to harm themselves, this is something you've witnessed and it's not secondhand information. They're threatening to hurt other people in the family. If they're just going off on unprovoked rages and destroying stuff within the house,
right?
We can get help for them. Have them transported to Oshner, Willis Knight and South, or any other facility that you like to have them go to. But the thing is, man, we have so many people that need help in that area.
Right, exactly, and I think that's a lot of what's going on right now. Mental illness is going on in our communities a lot now. At first it was kind of hard for me to believe that black people was doing this during COVID. You know what I'm saying? Was having these depressions or having these problems. Because normally we don't suicide. Normally we don't do things like that. But, for some reason now we're taking on these other mindsets.
Yeah. And I want to put one other thing out there. I was kind of ignorant to it for a while about the vapes.
Yeah.
I thought that all vapes were tobacco based and it was just flavored tobacco, but a lot of the vapes have hallucinogenic effects, same thing as these different drugs. And we had some kids that's thrown them off. The parents said they found the vape and found out what he was vaping on, and his mind is gone.
Man, THC in the vapes, people ain't telling you the truth, but a lot of people walking around, am I lying, Elsa? THC oil is in them vapes. And you may think, or you may be running around thinking, turn it off, Rodney, because that's gonna be humming. Now I'm talking about the headphones. Yeah, just on the back side of them, turn it off, because that's probably what's going on. But just hold it down and it's gonna cut off. But what's happening is a lot of you walking around and you're thinking people just vaping a certain taste or something like that. No,
flavor.
they got THC oil in them vapes, and those vapes are real powerful. They like you said, what that word you just said a little while ago, because I'm tired of
hallucinogenics.
Yeah. I mean, Hey man, that's real talk. So you got to make sure your kids running around and they hiding these vapes in their rooms and all this kind of stuff. It ain't just no chocolate taste or no
strawberry and bubble gum.
Yeah, it ain't just that.
It may smell like that, but believe me, they ain't feeling that.
No, that's THC.
Yeah,
and you got to be aware of it because a lot of people are doing it now. I see a lot of people, man. You know, back like you, Milton, I used to think for a fact that they were just vaping. And then I seen a lot of people everybody just getting them and stuff. And I ain't gonna lie, when I went to my doctor, and my doctor, my I'm sorry.
Is that what we need? That
I'm looking for it.
Hit the button, Rodney. Hit the button.
Milton, I should have started. I should have started playing music. But anyway,
oh man,
he telling you the truth, y'all. We really got to make sure that you following up on your kids right now.
Yeah, and one very important thing, man, are the curfews.
I was finna say that, man.
Curfews. You know, I know a lot of times as our kids get older, they always think, I'm grown. I'm almost 16. You know, why I got to come in at 10 o'clock? And like they don't realize, the kids, they don't realize that every night certain people get up at that time of night to victimize somebody. They catch somebody slipping.
When a kid told me they was on demon time, I was
wow.
I was like, wait a minute, hold on. You on what time? I'm on demon time. We be on demon time out here. Is that really true, Allison?
Oh yeah, street built different. Y'all built different.
Demon time?
Wow.
That scared me just to hear. I mean, something went over me when I hear a kid say that you are righteously participating in something like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So when they say things like that, I step back and I'm like, wait a minute, I'm gonna have to check you. Come here, homeboy.
Yeah.
Let's see what you really into.
But I'm sure we've all witnessed it.
Right.
Little boys, little girls walking to Circle K, 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning for some bread, eggs, a Coke, or icy. I mean, you just like, where in the world are these parents? That's the first thing you start thinking. And then the second thing is like, okay, well, let me follow them to make sure that they make it back home safely.
Right.
And that's the thing about it too. As a community, we got to get to the point where we're more concerned about the youth than my schedule. Well, I ain't got time to be following them while they walk back home and this and that. But then all of a sudden, next thing you know, you see something on the news, child missing. Wow. Last seen at Circle K. And the first thing you start thinking, dog, I knew I should have did this.
I saw the kid.
So, so the thing is, like I said, as a community, we got to start stepping up and doing our part, picking up where the parents may have dropped the ball.
Right.
Nobody's perfect, but, as a community, we all can do better.
We can. And that's another thing, y'all. Stop being afraid to approach these kids. I know a lot of them say, well, we are, that ain't my child, and you know how people act about their kids now.
Yeah.
Hey, I'd rather have a complication or say something. I have an argument with the parent than let a kid go wrong.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Okay,
exactly.
Well, me and you, we adults. We supposed to be able to talk.
Exactly.
But if we can't talk, hey, hear your child anyway.
And like this, like they used to say, like I can't remember. I heard them say, the teachers are afraid of the principals are afraid of the school boards are afraid of the parents.
Wow.
And the kids ain't afraid of nobody.
You're right.
They, do whatever.
They protected.
Yeah.
Hit me. I'm gonna show you what's up. 911. Y'all think I'm playing, but that's really true.
Oh Lord.
I done heard some kids walking over here in Ingleside, and their mom threatened them or say something. Okay, I'm gonna call 911. I was like,
wow.
You would have got beat in my day.
Oh,
you would have got beat for even suggesting or even thinking that you would have got it.
Yeah.
So, like you said, Milton, it's a whole lot of things. Once again, we're talking to Milton Carroll with high risk behavior, and we're just talking about things that you can do to help, manage your kids and try to get things in perspective. Because a lot of times as parents, we think of our kids not doing this, not doing that, ain't involved in this, possibility of this, and the teachers, man, come on, man. You know how they do it on the baseball field? The tie goes to the runner.
Yeah.
It should go to the teacher.
Yeah.
Man, the teacher don't have no reason to say something to your kid, to say something about your kid wrongly.
Yeah.
She don't benefit from that.
And you know, I've subbed before, and it's amazing. You know, I actually had one student that was just cussing up a storm in the classroom.
Right.
And so I said, you know what, keep on. I'm going to call your dad. I'm going to call your mom.
Right.
And then so start clowning again. So I said, okay. Had the little list, called the mom on the phone. And I called the phone, and she answered the phone. Hello? I'm like, yes, is this Miss such such? Yeah, what you calling my blank phone for? I'm like, oops, okay. I was calling about your child's language in class. Well, don't be calling my phone, call his daddy. And I'm like, wow. So once I saw that, I'm like, wow. I saw exactly the environment.
Why a kid like that? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to talk about, Milton? That
well,
may...
I also want, like I said, I want to cover more exit strategies. You know,
go ahead.
Like I said, when you get home today, talk to your kids. You know, like I said, we use the first example. If you go to Tim's house and he's got a gun, what are you gonna do? And then if your child kind of freezes, looking surprised, like well, like I said, we all have cell phones, so tell your child, just act like you know that he's got the cell phone on vibrate. Act like he just got a text from his mom, and he's going, oh man, hold on for a minute. Oh hey mom, how you doing? Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot you had to go to work. I'm getting ready to head over there now. So little simple strategies like that will remove them from that situation, because I can't tell you the number of cases I work where the gun was supposedly empty. They're over at the house. I had one case with a young man. Mother told him don't go down to Tim's house, and so she said, I'm going to run to Walmart. I'll be right back. When I get back, you can head on down there. So she pulls out the driveway, and what does he do? She pulls out the driveway. He runs down to the friend's house. Gets there, the friend's playing with his dad's gun, and the young man said, "What are you doing? What are you doing with your dad's gun?" And the friend said, "Oh man, it ain't loaded. If it was loaded, would I do this?" Aimed the gun at him, pulled the trigger, shot him, killed him. The young man didn't. He removed the magazine, but he didn't remove the round that had been chambered.
Wow.
So when we talked with the mom was saying, "Well, I told him to wait, because I knew that the boy's father wasn't there or his mother wasn't there. So I wanted them to be there while they were down there playing." And so so often, you know, the kids feel like the parents are trying to keep them away from something,
right?
But when they're actually trying to protect them,
right.
So like I said, you know, the phone is a good exit from any type of situation. You know, somebody's trying to force you to do the wrong thing, or somebody's talking about doing the wrong thing. You just need to get away from that situation. Another one, you can act like, hold on, man. You can act like you left your phone somewhere. Hold on, man. I left my phone. I'll be right back.
Right.
That's, you know, so I know for the kids, it's all about saving face with their friends. You know,
right.
They don't want to be there, but they want to save face with their friends or so-called friends.
Right.
You know, another one, you feeling sick. Everybody in the place sick not to go to school before.
Right.
So why you can't play sick to get out of trouble?
Right.
Oh man, my stomach. Oh Lord, it's blowing up, man. I don't want to put all this in your bathroom. Hold on, I'll be back, man. You know, so we do it for, you know, to get out of school.
Right.
Why can't you do it to get out of trouble? You know.
Right.
So
anything else,
man? That's pretty much it. But like I said, as parents, we need to prepare our kids, because it ain't a matter of if they're going to face peer pressure or get in the wrong situation. It's just a matter of time. And so how they respond depends on how we prepare them for those situations. You know, we tell them, just say no. Okay, well, what do they do after no? I said no. And then you just sitting there, you know, it's that weird moment of, I said no. Now everybody just looking at me. So now you need to have some responding actions with that no.
Right.
Or with that exit strategy. So just prepare them and drill them, because if they've already got the answer before the test takes place, they can't help but to pass it.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So I think that's, you know, we give our kids all these other talks, you know, about don't have sex, don't do drugs, but we don't prepare them with these exit strategies to remove themselves from these situations, you know.
Right. You know, man, it's and another thing too, man, while school is starting and getting back in, man, I want the parents to understand that it's important how you look when you go to the school too. And I know this kind of off of it, Milton, but I see a lot of parents that may go up there dressed a certain kind of way. You still want to have a professionalism look with you, or just look normal. Just, I don't know what your normal is, but don't go up there looking embarrassing the kids. Yeah.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna say this right here. I saw one thing where the boy kept acting up in school,
Mm-hmm.
and so his mom she dressed down to embarrass him and sat behind him every class. Sat behind him in every class.
Right.
She only had to make one trip after that.
That was it. Man, please guard your kids, man. Help your kids, man. Don't try to be their friends. Be their parents. They need parents. They don't need friends. You know, you are their only example of God when they're young. You're their only example of the word of God in them when they're young. And if you're not getting that to them the right way, what you been saying, Miller?
It was just when you said that, it's amazing with the homicides that I've worked over 18 years.
Mm-hmm.
When we start talking to the parents always say, I just told him not to go down there. I told her to stop dating him. It was always that final warning that came for the parents before it cost them their life, you know.
Right.
And I really truly believe that, you know, that it's to the point where God, you know, gives that message to the parents and gives to the child to avoid destruction.
Right.
And they just, you know, just go beyond it at times.
They don't take heed.
You know.
Yeah, and that's all I'm saying, man. We have to really stop trying to be friends with our kids and really guide them the right way and tell them the right thing to do. High risk behavior, they deal with bullying also. If a kid is being bullied, or if you know of a kid being bullied, what can they do, Miller?
Oh, they can reach out to me. If your child's being bullied, first of all, what you need to do is make sure that you're bringing it to the teacher's attention.
Mm-hmm.
I will bring it to the teacher's attention. I would also make sure that the office, whoever the disciplinary principal is, I'd make sure that they would know about it. I would make sure I would write that date down and tell them that you want them to bring that child in and address that issue directly with that child. And a lot of times, eventually, if it continues, then you bring the child and the parent in.
Right.
But make sure that you just don't overlook it as oh, you know, suck it up, you know, be tough, man, you know. No, that, you know, that starts interfering with the child's performance in class, and when a child's saying, hey, he's messing with me, or you know, all of a sudden the child becomes uncomfortable even with attending school.
Right.
So all of a sudden now you got a child that's missed 30, 40, 50 days of school and you don't even know nothing about it, you know. Or I'm sure they probably, you know, nowadays text, call, or whatever, but you know, you don't want your child being uncomfortable with his daily routine. Can you imagine if you had to go to work every day and you had to face somebody, let me see, somebody like Hulk Hogan every day?
Debo,
there we go. If you had to come up here to the radio station every day, but you got to get past Debo, you climbing over the wall, sneaking through the bathroom window. No, we don't believe in violence. We don't believe in violence. We 99.7 does not condone violence.
We talking about Debo. You gonna eat your cornbread?
Yeah. You ain't getting my cornbread.
But you know, Milton, one thing I hadn't heard nobody ever address was the bullier, the guy that was doing the bullying.
Man, but you know what, Johnny? It's amazing to me. Out of all the presentations I've done, I always ask, whose child has been bullied before? Everybody raise their hand. Then I ask, whose child has been the bully? Nobody never raised
That's something I have never heard anybody speak on. I done heard of people being bullied, but I never heard anybody really speak on the person that's doing the bullying. What make them become the bully?
Man, dysfunctional home. I mean, man,
is it because they was bullied?
Oh man, first of all, you don't feel good about yourself.
Right.
So you want everybody else to be miserable around you.
Okay.
You know, ain't no telling what's going on. I guarantee you something's going on in the house.
Right.
I guarantee you that. Maybe abuse, maybe neglect.
Oh, I get what you're saying. So he acting out.
So I got it exactly.
Okay.
So now that I'm miserable, I want to make everybody else miserable around me.
Right.
So I'm gonna find one target, and then they enjoy that attention.
Yeah, you always see a movie. You always see a movie when a bully, his dad is an alcoholic, and so he's slapping him around, and then when he go out in the world, he's trying to keep the world from slapping him around.
Yeah.
So that creates bullies.
Yeah.
I mean, I get what you're saying.
But the thing about it, like I said, once a bully starts bullying, he wants an audience. You got to have an audience because if you don't have an audience to make you feel good while you bully somebody,
why you doing it?
It's like you done lost your audience. You done lost your power. So
that means that
it plays a part.
If a kid see a person bullying a person, you can actually stop it. But when you see a bully, just walk away from him. I mean, don't give him that attention.
But you know what? Something simple as saying, man, you know that ain't right, will shut it down real quick.
Coming to get you.
Other people just walk by and say, man, that ain't right.
No, he coming to get you, Nick, because you see.
No, I guarantee you. People walk by and say, man, you know that ain't right. You picking on that dude. Just that quickly can diffuse that whole situation.
Yeah. Would you condone
humiliate them?
Would you condone them jumping on the bully?
No, because I mean now that makes you the bully.
Yeah, I guess so. But I mean, you protecting.
Now, it's the difference between protecting and jumping on.
Okay, I got you.
If you stopping something from going on, that's one thing. Right. But yeah,
the best solution is just tell somebody about it.
But remove that person from that situation.
Right.
You grab the person by the hand. Come on, man. Come on, let's go.
Right.
The person is being bullied. Just grab them. Come on, man. And the thing is, they want somebody to pull them out of this situation.
Right. They looking for that.
You think about every fight that somebody's having. They got an idea if they finna win or not. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
No,
if he
man.
jump up and start running looking for something, he know he ain't winning.
Man. Oh boy.
But man, I try to make it a little bit, where we can laugh and talk about it, man, because I'm being honest with you, man, it's really a serious matter. When to be bullied or to be the bullier is not, neither one is a good feeling.
Yeah.
And you really have to understand the guy that's actually doing it, because it's something in him that is missing that's making him do that.
Well, look, I'm gonna tell you about my bullying experience, man.
Uh-oh.
At this time, we was going to Oak Terrace Junior High School, man. Mm-hmm. And see, back then, the Jewella Bridge, it wasn't completed.
Yeah.
So if we walk home, we'd walk through the woods, and then we walk across the Jewella Bridge, which was coming across Mopac tracks and things.
Yeah.
So, man, I had a neighbor. I'm just going to say his first name, Mike. And so, man, I noticed by the time we get to Winfield, he walking fast. So then he said, come on, man, let's run. I'll race you. So I'm thinking like, okay, we're racing, So, all right, man. Okay, you won. So I live like 2 houses down from him.
Right.
So, man, every time that we'd have band practice, we'd walk.
Mm-hmm.
And same thing would happen again, man. And so I finally noticed one day this other guy was running.
He into a what, man?
Was running also. So I'm running, and Mike runs off and leave me. So the guy runs past me, and he at the mic. I'm like, oh, so that's what's going on.
Wait a minute, hold on. Oh, so this dude was running. This dude was chasing.
At first, he was just having me thinking that we racing home.
Right.
But he actually running for the dude that's coming about.
See, we don't supposed to be laughing at that.
So, yeah, we're not. So finally, man, it's like close to the last day of school, man. So we coming home again, man. And Mike see the dude. I see him. So we start running again. So Mike take off and leave. And, man, the dude ran. He got mad because he couldn't catch Mike. So then he going to try and jump on me.
Oh, no.
Oh, man.
Oh, that's a bully for you.
He jumped on me, and it was on, man.
He ain't never think twice about doing it again.
Look, I ain't know I could fight that good. But it's amazing back then, because after that, we was real good friends. We was look.
Wow. What you did with the guy that was always running, man? Did you tell him about it?
Man, he already knew, man. Man.
Wow.
And for everybody in Motown, they probably know who it is, because like you say, they live a couple of houses down from it. So
hey, you better not be doing it now, because I'm coming to get you. You bullying somebody now. But man, that is so crazy, man, because I done seen it happen so many times. I'm gonna be honest, this guy named Rara back in the day.
I remember Rara, yeah.
You remember Rara?
Yeah.
I was at Airport Park, and I was shooting basketball. You know me, I'm trying to be all sweet with the chain on, the little gold bone on, and all that, y'all. And and Rara, he was going to Booker T with me at one time. So he said, John, he said, man, you need to leave. I say, for what? He said, man, them guys, they talking about robbing you. I say, for what? He said, a chain around your neck. He said, well, I tell you what, you gonna get a head start. And I warn them off. I said, man, I am not finna run. I said, there's one thing I can't do is run. He said, because I come over here every day to play basketball. So if I run now, guess what's gonna happen?
Run, yeah.
I'm gonna be running all my life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Back then, the guys weren't pulling guns and
Yeah,
stuff like that.
yeah,
It was just a fight. You know, we fight, and then we back buddies the next day. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
You always had guys that was going to try you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But Robert, Robert could fight.
Oh yeah,
He could fight. So I say, hey, man, we just gonna have to stand back to back and go in. He say, well, they my homeboys. They already know me. I was just trying to, help you because you helped me at Booker T one time.
Yeah.
I was on the football team and some guys from Allendale was messing with him.
Yeah.
And I saw him against the wall. I said, man, and I walked past the guys from Allendale. I said, man, leave the dude alone, man. Leave him alone. I said, then they already knew I had the football team behind me.
Yeah.
So they left him alone. So ever since then, we were cool. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. Examples of how you really supposed to help each other out.
Exactly.
Don't just let the person be stuck out. You know him, and you letting the guy get beat down. He turn around looking at you like, man, you gonna let them do this to me?
Exactly.
So
community.
That's what I'm saying. That's what happened back in the day. But I want y'all to know, man. Like, look. Guard your kids. Make sure you're making sure your kids are all right.
Exactly.
Pay attention. And school just starting, so this is a good time to really sit down with them and talk and let them know that they can come to you and talk to you about anything.
And make sure you form a relationship with the teachers.
Right.
I mean, that makes a world of difference. You find out what's going on in the classroom. It may even help your child out when they may need them two, 3 extra little points.
Mm-hmm.
Just because you call and they know that you're concerned about your child.
Right.
That makes a world of difference.
Right. Get a teacher knowing that somebody supporting the kids.
Yeah.
Well, so tell them a little bit more about your business, because there's a lot of people that's probably on and don't know anything about your, what you're doing and everything. But it's high risk behavior. This Milton Carroll. Let them know what your business. How long you been in.
Well, it's been over 8 years that we formed, and we go to different functions, talking about high risk behavior, preparing the kids for any peer pressure situation that they may face. Anything that would cause premature deaths, pretty much the topics that we cover: suicide, accident, common factors involved in homicides. We talk about cases that have happened here locally, about choices that people could have made that could have made the difference in the outcomes. And we could be reached at 318-207-8058. That's 318-207-8058. For the presentation, we come to churches. We usually present at Parks and Recreation at least 3 to 4 times a year. So if you have any questions, would like me to come and talk to you, just give me a call. No group is too small. I know a lot of people talk about, well, we only have 5 people, and
Right.
So just think about that's 5 lives.
Exactly. If you can get 1 or 2 out of it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a domino effect. You can help one, the other kid can help other kids. So
and the thing about it, once they have that information, that's with them for life.
Right.
Same strategies that they'll learn in junior high school to use in high school, in college, and in life.
Right.
Even to this day as adults, we find ourselves being peer pressured sometimes.
Exactly. Hey, man, all the time.
Yeah.
Man, people try you every day. I'm not playing with you, man. Even if you're a boss, if you're not a boss, or whatever it is, people try you every day, and we have these skills. And if you were brought up in the era we know how to handle things like that.
Yes.
Today is a different world. Kids and adults have problems dealing with stuff like this on a regular basis, though, Milton. Mm-hmm. I mean, think about the guy right by Winfield Funeral Home. He stepped on his shoes.
Yeah.
And he thought he broke line. And he turned around and killed the guy from breaking line, thinking he broke line or stepped on his shoes.
Yeah.
Man, that's an adult not being able to handle, a situation. And we see this
led by emotions
all the time. Road rage, all this kind of stuff are the things that we're talking about right now.
Conflict resolution.
Right. I have a friend that admitted to road rage. She said, I hate if I'm ever on the phone with you, I was laughing. I said, look, get that under control, you know what I'm saying? Because you never know what could happen.
Yeah.
Things
escalate.
It escalates.
And all of a sudden now you got a family without a father, without a mother.
Right.
That's no longer alive. Then you got another family that's got a father going to prison, going to jail because you took somebody's life. over foolishness. You know.
Milton, tell them you work with the coroner's office also, so you see a lot of things yourself,
Yes,
right?
yes, definitely.
How long you
definitely.
been with the coroner's office?
It's going on 18 years. Been a death investigator for 18 years. So job actually consists of going to the scenes where people have died, whether it's a natural death, whether it's a homicide, suicide, or a motor vehicle accident, and find out what led to the person's death, So
Right.
therefore, after doing that for so many years, I start seeing all the common factors. So if you start moving the common factors from these different preventable deaths, you prevent the death,
Right. And that's what we're here at 97.7. That's the biggest thing that we try to do. We try to really give people knowledge and give them skills, life skills.
Exactly.
Here. I mean, it's important that we have this. Alice, let me ask you something. As being a young lady and watching, the way society is living their lives now, and the way they're, do you think it's more reckless now, or are we just older?
No, I think it's more reckless just because people our age didn't have to deal with what y'all dealt with back in the day.
Right.
So it's
So it's a little different. And I mean, even though we had our, experiences with drugs and all these different things and stuff like that, but today I'm just seeing a little more. It's kind of escalated a little bit more now
Yeah,
because kids are starting really young these days. I mean, really, really young doing. I mean, I'm seeing 9-year-old kids breaking into cars. Man, you barely can look over the steering wheel.
Yeah.
Half of them. And they stealing cars because one was parked right in front of my studio about 3 weeks ago. And when I looked at the cameras and looked at the kids, man, you probably talking about 15, 9, and maybe 8-year-old kids.
Wow.
And girls involved. And I'm like, what? This is crazy. And when the police looking at me like, man, he said, bro, these kids can't be no more than probably about 14. Rodney helped me look at the surveillance camera on them.
Yeah.
And it's starting young. They're really, really starting real young. Is it just the parents missing, or is it just because this? I mean, what time it was around 2 o'clock in the morning? This was 2 o'clock in the morning. They were dropping the car off and joyriding.
Wow.
So how in the world are your kids being out this late?
Yeah. And
I mean,
and-
even
and-
if you're
and-
at work, you're supposed to be calling or something.
And I'm gonna say this right here, even as that's where a large part of community comes in. Also, you see some kids out there telling, "Hey, we y'all going? What no, we need to find. No, I'm following you. Till we get back to your house. You know,
you need to be at home.
if I got to get into it with your parents, like you said, I just got to get into it with them. But we finna get you back to the house.
And you know what? I think the preventive measures also, if the lawmen are seeing these kids out this late,
The curfew.
past the curfew, it ought to be mandatory that they stop
Yeah,
and ask these kids, where you going, what you doing. Look,
I agree.
I mean, it ain't just no pat. Oh, them kids out late. I got to go on a run. I'm seeing this. If you really want to prevent a lot of the break-ins, a lot of the stolen cars, and a lot of different things, if you address these kids that you seeing walking through the name, and everybody,
But
you know what everybody can say? Oh man, you don't really want to do that because then they're gonna start stereotyping, and but your kid out at 2 o'clock in the morning.
And the thing about it, like you said, their safety.
Yeah, exactly.
Because like you said, that's the easiest time to grab somebody if you trafficking or doing,
Wow.
That's the easiest time to grab them.
I ain't think about that.
Easiest time to grab them. Who they gonna tell? Somebody gonna do something wrong. They wait till the nighttime where there's no witness.
Wow.
They feel like that, under the cover of darkness.
Wow, I didn't think of that, but you're so right about that. But you can walk around here in Ingleside any time of the night, and you seeing young kids. And you know what, man? I know some of them are hungry, some of them are not being fed or treated right or whatever. I understand this, and we try to jump in and help out where we can.
Yeah.
But man, like Milton said, it takes the village, it takes the community to really help these kids. Get what they got to get because it's bad, man. It's bad, Milton.
And
I know you see it all night because you work nights, mainly graveyards.
Exactly. And like I said, a lot of times parents, your moms that may feel like it's hopeless or it's too late, my child won't listen and this and that. I tell them it's one thing that a mom can always use. Number one weapon, pull them tears out. Pull them tears out and start using them. Child can't stand to see his mom or her mom crying. Okay, I'm gonna do better. Don't be too proud to cry.
Right, exactly.
Start dropping them tears. It impacts them. They may try and act like it, that it doesn't.
And I'm gonna say this too, Milton, and we'll sign off. But people, just because your kid has driving license and they're driving cars at an early age, still check on them. Still check them. Still make sure they're not doing silly stuff in the cars.
Yeah.
Don't just, they got their license, they can do what they. Man, I see so many kids blow through lights. Man, until it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, they blowing through lights, or they taking risks or taking chances that I be like, well, I was kind of young, I was stupid too, but come on, man. It's happening too much now.
Yeah.
I'm talking, man, I'm seeing, dude, I can come to a green light. I'm gonna almost stop and look.
Yeah.
I'm serious. And they barely can back up. But the parents, they good, they good. No, you just trying to get out of that. You trying to get out of being
responsibility.
Accountability is so important.
And I'm gonna say this right here.
Do you have a lot of kids dying in accidents and stuff, Milton? Or
it's cut down. It's gone down a whole lot since I've started.
Mm-hmm.
But I just want to say this right here. If you notice, like in Asian countries,
mm-hmm.
the way that they raise their kids is, completely different. They own them. You know what I'm saying? School, education, all that. Because you know what? That's their retirement program. Once they get so old and they're too old to work, now they come to stay with the kids.
Wow.
But I'm going to make sure that you have a good job where you can take care of me, and you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that family dynamic is completely different.
Right.
But like I say, it's just so important that our kids are our biggest investment, man.
Right. And get your kids in some insurance.
But you know what, Johnny?
Just being serious.
Johnny,
make sure your kids in insurance, man.
Johnny, I was thinking about that the other day, and I saw it myself. It's amazing now that it's gotten so bad that instead you got parents taking loans for kids to go to school, you got a whole lot more parents getting insurance for burial.
Wow.
Because of the lifestyle that the kids are living.
You got to, man, because, man, I get so many calls here at the station, and Rodney can attest to this, the people that wasn't prepared and wasn't thinking about, their kids past.
Yeah.
The kid's supposed to be burying the parents, not the parents burying the kid. You know what I'm saying? But today it's totally different now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just by like Milton saying, high risk behavior, a lot of them are making bad decisions, and the decisions that they're making, it's taking lives.
Yeah.
It ain't just they in the hospital for a couple of weeks or a month or something like that trying to recover. No, they dead.
Yeah.
They in the ground. So you gotta really take this serious about this high risk behavior and teaching your kids different tactics, and listen to Milton and inviting them to your church, inviting them to your school, inviting them to your organizations. Since y'all freaking frat and all this junk, y'all invite them. Yeah. You have all these different organizations that's running around, and they really don't want to shell the money out for things that are worthwhile.
Yeah.
It's good getting them hot dogs and having parties and doing it. Take your money sometime and invest into the kids of having some kind of knowledge.
And I want to say this right here also, and mothers on a mission, man.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, they did such a great job with the backpack giveaway at JS Clark.
What?
Man, it was just, man, I know this serves at least 300 to 400 people, man. It was just, man, it was just so good. And the environment with there was just all community. It was just, man, it was just, it was just,
and
people were thankful.
What was this again?
This was at JS Clark. This is Mothers on a Mission.
I announced it. That too.
And man, she did such a fabulous job, man. I was just so proud of her, man. And
what's her name? You remember her name?
Oh, golly, she gonna kill me.
I ain't gonna put you on the spot, but it's all good.
I forgot her name. Golly,
Alice, you be able to just sneaker in and laugh and look at.
But the organization is Mothers on a Mission, man.
Yeah.
And man, I just see the generations that she's impacting.
Right.
You providing supplies and things for the kids right now, but these are the kids that are gonna go on, like I said, in the next 10 years, that'll be running the city, running the state, running the nation. And so just to think your contributions right now are impacting the future at that scale.
Right, and it's so important, man, that we, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I joke a lot. I try to have a free spirit and laugh and stuff about a lot of different things, but things that we talk about here on 97.7 The Heat are so important that we have to take the time out to listen. And I know a lot of people say, well, man, I ain't used to all the talking on the radio. I ain't used to this. We are a community radio station. And if we're not servicing the community and just playing your music. We just like every other station. So with that being said, we gotta move away from that, and we have to show you and give you knowledge on what's going on around you. And if you just want to listen to music, don't tune in to the other ones. I don't mind.
Well, let me say this right here real quick. I agree with, the different things that we do in face of tragedy, the marches, the balloon releases and things. But after that, we need to have something in place.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Agenda. We got to have an agenda.
To change behavior, to change the things that are going on.
Right.
Just showing up is good, but having information to change behavior is even better.
Right. That is so important. You want to add anything to this, Alice? You sure?
No, sir, I'm good.
You good? You just want to go mixed on it. Hey, we having a great time with Mr. Milton Carroll, high risk behavior, good friend of mine. I trust him with my bank account. I'm just being honest with you. He might spend a little, he ain't gonna spend it all. But he'll save me a little something. He'll save me at least half. I trust him on that. And like I said, man, he's a good gentleman. He's a good guy. He really takes this to heart. And that's what we need. We need people that love the things that do, not just doing it for the money, not doing it for the recognition, not doing it for the cameras, not doing it for the lights, but doing it because it's in their heart and it's genuine done. And that's what we're missing in all the fields that we're in, even in nursing and teaching. And now we got people just getting paid. But we need to get people back in these positions that care. And until we get these people, and they ain't saying everybody don't care. I'm saying those that don't. So I don't want nobody confused that and act like I'm saying everybody don't. A lot of people do care. But we need to make sure that we got people like Milton he take out his own time and his own money. I done seen him do it 1,000,000 times. And he's trying to help our kids because we're looking at how they're going and how they're being trained and how they're being taught in so many different ways and pulled so many different ways. I mean, all of the TV shows and all the different things got subliminal messages and stuff running through them. And we need to curb this. We got to understand that we got to turn this around. Exactly. And the only way we're going to turn this around is through us. So adults have to be accountable, not just kids. They're kids.
Exactly.
But the adults got to be accountable. We got to be accountable.
And control what they're taking in, control what they hear,
All of that. All of that.
If you're raising a child, you just ain't going to sit and let the child just eat all junk all day, every day, all the time.
Yeah, because I did that. Right, them need to come home and get candy because they know I had it. Nutty Buddies, baked beans.
Stop by the stove by Bees.
I'm sticking the candy in, and the only time, by the time my mom and dad figure out I'm in there crying, got a toothache. Hey man, like I tell y'all, I'm always gonna make it funny, man. You know what's up. But that once again, it's Milton Carroll with high risk behavior. He's a good guy. If you have any programs or anything like that, and there's nothing wrong with him going out and getting funding to help fund to continue what he's doing, or donations.
Because there are some things that are teaching aids that I am working on getting. One are called the intoxication goggles, which gives a person a perception of being intoxicated. So this is a way for the kids to actually see what it feels like to be intoxicated and try and walk the lines.
You can use.
They also have the what they call the weed goggles now.
What?
Yeah. So if they put the goggles on, it gives them the effect of being high.
Wow.
And so we'll have them try and perform different tasks, just simple things like walk in a straight line. So
right.
So just little simple things for them to see, how impairment affects them.
You're wrong, Rodney. Rodney, wrong. Rodney, I don't need the goggles.
So like I said, there's different teaching aid, and equipment that I would like to try and get to, make the presentation even better. So
like I said, he is accepting donations. I mean, Mel, do you have any cash apps or anything where people can contribute to your organization?
I do.
And matter of fact, give them numbers and give them also your your social networks and all different things like that.
Okay.
So people can have.
On Facebook, I'm located under High Risk Behavior Prevention. On Instagram, it's the same, High Risk Behavior Prevention. And if you feel like donating, it's a worthy cause. My Cash App is $MILTON, MILTON, Carroll, CARROLL, and the third, that's like 3 eyes right behind that.
Man, that's how I got mine. I hope they don't confuse us. Because I got mine, Johnny Antoine the third.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
You the third? I ain't know you was the third.
Yeah, man, I'm the third.
Wow.
Yeah.
Alice, what you think about that?
It's just a number. It's just a number, Johnny.
So my phone number again is 318-207-8058. If you have any questions concerning presentations for your youth group, I think it'll be ideal, especially even at some of the churches where they have the Wednesday night services. I think it'll be great to come and be able to talk to your youth, while you're talking to the adults.
Right.
So,
They need to be in there. The adults need to be in. They need to get it too.
Oh Lord.
They think they're getting Jesus, and the kids in the house chilling.
Yeah.
No, we need to get this right.
Yes.
I'm just hey, like I said, I bring fun to it, but I'm just telling the truth, man. Sometimes we need to move away from certain things in order to get something that we really need. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, just like the Bible said, what my people perish for what? Lack of knowledge. So the information, that's the insurance of today for our kids.
Wow.
Information. That's what's gonna give you longevity of life. Knowing how to respond when I find myself in certain situations.
Right. Right. Well, man, like I said, it's Milton Carroll, one of my good friends with high risk behavior, and I really hope that, us taking the time out on the radio to really show that how much we are concerned and care about your kids as well as our kids, because it ain't just your kids, it's our kids. When they out there in the streets, they my kids too.
Exactly.
And if you ain't thinking that way as an adult, because you see a kid out there and he's not your kid, he's still your kid.
Exactly.
Think about it. You want somebody else to do the same exact thing you would do for your kid if you wasn't there.
That child's going to be a direct impact on the community.
Exactly.
And
in school, man, please, y'all, the school system, y'all need to get on them and let them know that this gentleman has been trying to get in for years just to talk. We done had, since you've been doing this, Milton, we done had so many young guys lost their lives from Huntington, Booker T, Burt, all these different schools. We done had deaths from all these schools, and the schools seem like they still have a problem with getting that into the school.
Well, and I'm just going to say this. A lot of times when you have people in place that don't have children in this age group,
Mm-hmm.
You're
not considering.
I'm not going to say not consider it, but they have a different perspective than the parents do nowadays.
Well, they saying, it ain't me.
Yeah.
That ain't good.
And like I said, a lot of the neighborhoods that our kids go to after they're out of school are completely different than the neighborhoods that a lot of teachers, principals, and all of them go to.
Wow.
So.
Wow, that's facts.
Challenges that the kids face are completely different.
Wow, that means some of them can't even see it.
Yeah. Their reality is completely different than what.
Hold on, Mel. Say that again. Say exactly what you just said, and that explains everything. Just say it again for me, because it woke me up when I heard it. I see why. If you stay in Southern Hills, or if you stay in Ellaby Road, or if you stay in up off the Pines Road, and you got a good environment. And then
that's your reality. That's the reality you live in, but it ain't the reality that a lot of our students live in.
But a lot of our kids are getting out of school and they're going to broken homes.
Yeah,
but they're going to situations where they are being bullied or being tested
or dangerous housing areas.
Wow,
this.
You woke me up to that, because you're right. When I leave Ingleside and I go to Southern Hills, I can walk outside and I can sit in my yard. I can water my grass. I can. You know what I'm saying? Even though it is changing, don't get me wrong, but it's still not to the fact or to the point to
that
where
you got to be on guard.
Exactly. When I'm here and I just trust God.
Mm-hmm.
But when I'm here, you know, I see the total difference, different people.
Of the environment, the mentality, and it's like, hey, okay, I'm on guard, you know, and you think about it. You never really let your guard down until you make it back home. But can you think about walking around a community the whole time, and that's your mentality? I mean,
Wow.
you're thinking, okay, what's this person angle? What they up to? You know.
You always got it.
Now tell me what your response is in your community. You see somebody slowing down in your community driving.
They looking for somebody's house.
Now in Motown, you see the car slowing down.
You go in the house.
I'm serious. You know what I'm saying? You start
No,
thinking
you're
like,
right,
okay,
though. That's what I'm saying.
First of all,
right.
you're trying to identify who is it, who behind the steering wheel. Can I see beyond the tent? Wait, what's up? You know.
But man, what I'm saying is, Milton, some you just said, that's the disconnect.
Mm-hmm.
That is the disconnect. Because, like you say, when I go home, if I go to Southern Hill, to the house in Southern Hill, you're right. Somebody slow down. Matter of fact, I might walk out there
Can I
and ask
help
you,
you?
can I help?
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? But somebody's slowing down over here in Ingleside, and you might take it a different way. But
Yeah.
I'm pretty much like, okay, are they lost or what they doing? You know what I'm saying?
Why they slow rolling over here? Ain't no stop sign up there.
And you got to think about
Yeah.
how the kids are actually thinking.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the reason why you have what you have
And-
at the schools.
And the thing about it, you think about this right here. A child or a teenager sitting up there with a weapon, and the car starts slow rolling and slow rolling, and they looking, and you get to looking, and they looking. And like you said, they could just be looking for some house numbers. So all of a sudden now he ready to defend, so-called defend himself.
Wow, that's the mindset
You know,
of them.
and when you talk to these kids with these weapons, first thing they say, man, well, I got this to defend myself. Well, where are you going that you got to defend yourself like that?
And what you
if you got to
doing?
carry a weapon, you don't need to be going where you going.
What you doing?
Yeah,
What you involved in?
yeah.
And that's where the parents come in again at.
And this is the thing. Well, everybody else has a weapon. Everybody else has a weapon, so I need to be able to defend myself.
Wow. Man, you done woke me up to something, man, because I really truly understand. And the reason why I'm saying it is because I didn't think of it that way.
Yeah.
I didn't think of when I'm in Southern Hills and I bring my trash out or something like that. I ain't never thinking about somebody rolling by or somebody doing this or doing that. But it's the mindset of the different environments that people are in.
And the thing about it, portraying this role, I got to be hard to make sure ain't nobody taking advantage of me.
Wow.
I got to be hard. I got to be hard. You know, and for some reason, people think that just because you got a weapon, now you're hard all of a sudden.
Wow.
You hard, but anybody for that example, anybody can be hard, being able to pull 2 pounds of pressure, trigger 2 pounds of courage.
That's it.
You know.
That ain't a lot. Man. Hey, y'all. High risk behavior with Mr. Milton Carroll. Any final words from Allison? You want to say anything? Or you anything else you want to say, Milton, before we get out of here?
No, that's about it.
Give me your information one more time, Milton. And if you didn't catch it, you can call 318-779-0459. And you can leave whatever it is that you want to leave or say. You can leave it on the station. I'll make sure Milton get the information.
My number is
318-779-0459. What's yours?
Okay, and my number is 318-207-8058. And just want to shout out also my partner, Ms. Lisa Hayes. She texted me a message a few minutes ago. So thank you for your words of encouragement. And like I said, man, just trying to get love back into Shreveport, trying to get our kids safe, and just change the image of the city. Change the image of the city, change the way that we see and view things, and save and preserve lives. You know, you can only live life to the fullest if you live a full life. Thank you.
Hey, it's WKSH 97.7 Heat. You know, man, it's the biggest thing I want to say today, and I want you to understand what I'm saying. You got to make sure that you're motivating before you hate. Or before you hate, motivate. And I want you to understand what that means, because it's easy to say something negative before you say something positive. But put in reverse. Say something positive to a person to motivate them than to hate them. This is Milton Carroll, man, with high risk behavior. I appreciate you again, Milton, man. Love
Sir,
you, man.
love you too, sir.
Allison, thank you for sitting in. And Smooth Rob in the background. I don't know. He just got out of work. He looked like he holding his head. He might need some Tylenol or something. I don't know what's going. He finna throw that finger at me. I saw him. Y'all saw him. Y'all ain't see him. It's WKSH. It's 97.7. And you gotta know we care.
Yes, definitely.
You had to know that I'd still be there.